Welcome back to another video and the first video of 2024. It's been a while since I uploaded and there's a load of different reasons why. Different things that came up every month. I could spend about 20 minutes talking about it, but I don't want the intro of the video to be 20 minutes long, so we're going to get right into the video, and then as the sessions are playing, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's been happening. As you can tell by the title of the video, I raced at my National Senior Championships on the 17th of February. But before jumping to the race, let's take a look at two sessions I got done before the race weekend, and I'll chat a little bit about how I was feeling and what's kind of been going on. First up was some blocks, which was quite low volume because I'm still really testing my body here and seeing if I'm able to race. To give a bit of background information, I was training extremely well from October all the way up to mid-January. I was in really good shape. Then in mid-January, my hamstring spasmed while coming out of blocks. At the time, I thought I had torn it badly, but it ended up only being a grade 1 or spasm. There's a bit of an overlap between the two. This essentially took me out for about 4 weeks, where I ended up missing 3 really important races that would have given me a lot of points towards my European and world ranking. This brings us to the week of nationals, where I was back to about 95%, but I was really struggling to recover that last little bit. Most of my pain was coming from acceleration out of the blocks, and also when fatigue hits in at the end of a fast rep. The reason I decided I should race, even though my hamstring mightn't be at 100%, is because the points I need to qualify for Europeans. I can go into how European and world ranking works in another video if you want, but to make it brief, I'm ranked extremely low right now because I don't have any races from last year to help me qualify for championships this year. This means that I need 5 races this year before the end of May to give me a chance to qualify for Europeans. Now, if you think about when your outdoor season starts, it's extremely hard to get 5 races before the end of May, and that's why indoors is so important. So now we're kind of all up to date for the race week. If I'm being honest, I was extremely nervous, so I didn't record anything during my warm-up, and I forgot to give my camera to someone to record the race. So I took a recording of the live stream and I'm just going to comment over it a little bit. So yeah, sorry a little bit about the quality of the video. First up is the heats. I was in heat 2, lane 6, and essentially my goal was to try secure the lane 6 for the final. Even though I was coming out of blocks slowly, I knew I could run low 21, which would give me a chance to get a good lane for the final.
So good start from Rob McDonald on the outside there in lane 6. He's really gone underway well. His co-mate Mara also going well there as well, but no doubt that Rob McDonald leads the way. And the time is going to be crucial here in terms of lane draw for the final. So McDonald comes into the home straight. Do watch the clock, we'll see if he can go quicker than Smith. And he has, just slightly.
I ended up running 21.13, which just about got me lane 6 for the final. Even though my hamstring hurt coming out of the blocks in the heats, there wasn't really any lasting pain afterwards, so that was quite reassuring. But I started to get an extremely sore pain in my glute, which I'm sure was all connected on the day. I did the best I could to loosen out between heats and finals, using the ball into my glute and hip. It felt a tiny bit better, but I was definitely nervous going into the final.
In lane 4, Colin Doyle Vale. In lane 5, Mark Smith, national record holder, Randy Shamrocks. On the outside, Robert McDonald, Galway City Harriers.
But it'll be really great today. You want me to? Really great today to see someone running sub 21 and getting close to that national record that belongs to the man in lane 5, Mark Smith, 2064. All these athletes have been in great 200 metres at the 123.ie National Senior Indoor Championships. Excellent start there from both McDonald and Smith. Colin Doyle also trying to keep in contention, but it looks like Mark Smith from Raheny Shamrock is pulling away up on Rob McDonald's shoulders. Colin Doyle also trying to make moves, not forgetting about the young athlete Donal Martin on the inside, but it's Rob McDonald coming around the outside on Mark Smith. It's going to be an incredibly tight finish, but it looks like Rob McDonald of Galway City Harriers takes the win from Mark Smith and Colin Doyle. No time on the clock, it stopped at 11:65 there, so we'll have to wait and see on those official results. But Rob McDonald, Smith got the better of him, I think, in that first 100 metres, but the strength really coming through in that final 50 to just get the better of national record holder Mark Smith.
Yeah, 21.05 coming up on the clock there. Mark Smith 21.20 for second, and Colin Doyle takes bronze 21.42. So 21.05, very good going for Robert McDonald. I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with that.
So yeah, I managed to compete in my national seniors and I came away with the win and some much needed points going into the outdoor season. The reason I'm uploading this in March, which is roughly 3 weeks after the race, I think, instead of the weekend after, is because racing actually came with quite a lot of problems for me. And I was kind of busy going up and down to Dublin the whole time. Essentially, after the race, I wasn't able to train for about 2 weeks, and then I just rejoined training there on the 4th of March. So what ended up happening was the glute pain I was talking about in the video earlier that started to come in kind of like during the heats and afterwards. That got way worse after the race. When I woke up the next day, the hamstring was sore, but it wasn't too bad. Kind of what I would have expected going into the race. This meant that I had to make multiple trips up and down to the Dublin Institute to see physios, doctors, and then finally get an MRI scan. I got my MRI scan results back on the 29th of February. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything too bad, and there wasn't anything connected to this problem that I'm having now, if you get me. So essentially what happened was that the neural tension type problem I was having in my hamstring ended up getting worse and then spread up to my like hip and glute area. But fast forward to the 4th of March and I'm actually back training with my group and doing harder sessions. The only thing I haven't really tested yet was acceleration out of blocks, but I'm back to doing the harder winter sessions and then, you know, the easier aerobic type stuff as well. I'm recording this video on the 8th of March, so I've actually recorded a lot of videos already on the sessions I got done this week. So I'll have another video on that next week. So what does that mean going forward? I'm not going to say I'm going to be uploading weekly and then not hit the goal, but I'm back to doing full sessions again, and I have been recording them. So hopefully I can get a bit more consistent with this going into the outdoor season. That wraps up this video and my indoor season. If you enjoyed and you want to see the rest of my 2024 season, make sure you go down below and hit the subscribe button. It's been a rocky indoor season with an amazing end, so thank you for all the support, and most importantly, stay fast.